and politics. Thanks so much for staying up late with us on Detroit's only nightly political talk show. And joining us to discuss his candidacy for Detroit mayor is businessman John Barlow. And we thank you for being with us. We are really taking the time to interview every candidate that is running for Detroit mayor, and the list is growing. Now, in terms of your run, how do you differentiate yourself from some of these other candidates?
Well, I'm not a career politician. And Taryn, just thank you for having me on, and thank you for being very fair to all the candidates. But I'm not a career politician. I'm a businessman, and I'm a problem solver. I know how to execute, I know how to build, I know how to innovate, and I truly believe that I can bring what it takes to this leadership position in order to make it work for all Detroiters.
Are you busy? It does seem like there's somewhat of a trend, as we have businessman Donald Trump that is running our country. How would you look at our city if you were running a business? How would you try to make it run more efficiently, smoothly, and cut the waste?
Well, it's not so much about cutting the waste as it is to getting to the core of the problem. There's a lot of resetting that has been done with our current mayor, Mayor Mike Duggan, and I want to double down on his results. I really want to accelerate growth, but I think there are some core leadership issues outside of City Hall that need to be addressed, and that really comes from facilitating relationships well enough in order to make sure that family becomes part of Detroit's fabric. And that fabric of hope needs to be reweaved in such a way that we make Detroit community again.
Well, families don't want to live or move or stay in Detroit unless there is safety and strong education for its kids. What are your thoughts on that? What needs to change?
Well, first of all, we need new family spaces. And in my plan that I will reveal on next Wednesday, March 19th, at Detroit People's Food Co-op during my public announcement, I want to create 100 new family spaces. And not only that, I want to make sure that every Detroiter and every family has a home. I didn't say a house, I said a home. And that's to make sure that we continue to not let any Detroiter fall through the cracks.
Easier said than done.
Oh, it's definitely easier said than done. But I think that I've always taken a clinical approach to winning. In everything that I do, I'm a winner. And so with being able to really dig deep into the mentorship and into all the family things that take place in the community, I believe that we can very well push forward and make Detroit what it needs to be. And
you said that you want to build on what Mayor Mike Duggan has done for our city.
Definitely.
And not all the candidates do. I mean, some agree, most agree, but certainly they want to change. What do you really want to focus on that you thought he succeeded at? Maybe something that stood out that you maybe want to work against or work differently?
Sorry about that. I've been watching Mike Duggan all my life. From the 90s, sitting down with my mom at the Detroit Public Schools as she was the secretary of the board at the time. I've seen Mike Duggan go in and out of offices, and so I've seen how he's fixed problems. And because I'm a problem solver, I understand that that's important to winning, and I want to double down on his results. I think his results are necessary for the city. I think it takes a winning mindset to guide a team into the future, and that's what I plan on doing if elected mayor.
Yeah, we saw what he did there with the water main break and how quickly that came together. And maybe in the past, you know, some families who were impacted would take a long time for them to get back into their homes or even find a place to stay. That sort of quick action for you, I think people look to that. Are you worried, though, that you're not a career politician, that you might not be able to do that and have the same resources or know-how because of it?
Well, I come from Southwest Detroit, and hola, mi hermano and mi hermana. I went down, and I didn't post it on social media, but I went rapidly down to the rec center as well as to see, I believe, Reverend Colin over at Santos Church to understand where the resources needed to be and where they needed to be redirected. And I believe the city did a great job. I think the infrastructure is in place. I just think the connectivity amongst the leaders needs to improve.
Real quickly, your thoughts, transparency. How important?
It's unimaginably important. I believe a participatory democracy, in which I've been definitely quoted in for my national advocacy for democracy, but most of all, civic engagement is beyond important. And I believe that because I understand tech, because I understand blockchain, because I understand what citizens need to be able to navigate the nuances of a city, I ultimately hope to guide Detroiters into a place in which they can see everything that's going on and understand how they can engage properly to help everybody pitch in, because Detroit only wins when we all pitch in.
One sentence or one thought. If you were elected as Detroit mayor, what was the first thing you would concentrate on?
First thing I'm going to concentrate on is hopefully expanding the ability to attract capital. And that starts with exploring not only schools and the influence the mayor has in schools, but it also starts with being able to rebrand the city to the point of attracting investment and making sure that we have major investors coming back to the city. We only have 3 or 4. We probably need to quadruple that. I think I'm the guy to do the job.
All right, we'll have to wait and see. John Barlow, thank you for being here and sharing some of your views. I know that we'll talk to you many times before then, so
thank you,
before that voting day. Well, that is the Pulse for this Thursday night. Extra is next. I'm Sharon Asher. Have a great night.